for those who don't know, Gio's a nurse. So if you want to help her not be a nurse anymore, follow her at GIIA. Did you change your at, or is it the same?
For what? Instagram? No, it's the same.
Okay, at GIIAA1. Mm-hmm. I'll just put it on the screen, y'all.
I need to post more though.
Yeah. Do you feel like you hold yourself back when it comes to like anything in life?
I don't think so. I mean, like, I know I could like post more, but then there's just like, I don't want to, you know? There's a lot of times where it's like, I just don't want to.
You don't want to? You don't want to be like seen or like perceived?
I don't know. Cause I feel like with social media, I've went in waves where like I was on it, I got off of it for a year. Like, I just feel like it's not that serious, but also there's like a part of me where it's like, I have potential, but it's like, I don't know, I go in waves of like, I want people to know my life and then I don't.
Yeah.
And then I do and then I don't. So it's like hard because it's like, do I and do I not? Like, what if
it's kind of like, it's the saying of like, I saw a TikTok, literally when I opened up today, this was the first thing that I heard. It was like, if you want to have these brand trips and have the luxury of being an influencer, you got to post. Like, that's what comes with it. So it's like, you can't pick and choose, oh yeah, I want the fun of it without putting in the work.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening, is that you want the fun, but you don't want to put in the work. Kind of, right? Is that what
I guess so. I mean, I don't know. I got to
Nobody wants to work these days. Is that what Kim Kardashian says?
Oh, yeah.
Nobody wants to work. Nobody wants to work these days.
Get your ass up and work.
Yeah, something like that,
Yeah, she did say that.
Yeah, at all of us.
You saw that she got a certificate of completion?
For what?
I don't know. People are like, she's not a real lawyer. I don't know. That's what people were saying. She got a certificate of completion.
No, I don't.
We're now going off.
I don't keep up with the. Ironically, I don't keep up with the Kardashian. Okay, so bringing it back from this random rant that we went on, what is one piece of advice you would give to your younger self?
You can always do more. I feel like there's just be present, actually. Just be present in life. Enjoy the moment that you're in. As much it might be overwhelming of not knowing where you're going to be, you're always going to get there. And you might not know like how it starts or how it ends up, but I don't know. Life's not that serious.
It really isn't.
It really isn't. We have one life, and I feel like it always gets better. And, you know, like, just look at the good things. You know, I try not to make everything so serious, or at least I try not to. And if I am, I'm just like, okay, like, take a step back. And, you know, if you got a red light again, it's like, okay, well, at least I get there. You know, like, it is what it is. I'm going to do what I need to do, and not the end of the world.
Yeah, I feel like we come from a pretty positive family.
We do.
For the most part. We definitely have our little outliers. They know who they are. I'm going to bleep that out.
But she's getting so much better. Mom and Dad have grown so much.
Mom and Dad have grown a lot. But my mom, she just, so we think she has autism.
I think she's autistic.
No, because seriously, like, there's a change in any plan, she freaks out. Like, it is the end of the world if anything slightly changed.
I know, and I'm surprised she did pretty well when I talked to her. I gave peace offerings. That's why you got cookies. It's okay.
No, it was so crazy. Like, it was very extreme. Like, we were heading to go run an errand today, and my mom said that basically if Gio drove on her own, my mom was not going to go. Like, she literally turned back the car around with this giant trailer attached to the back because Gio said, like, no, I'll meet you there. And my mom's like, no, it's my way or the highway. She literally said that. She said, it's my way or the highway. And if she doesn't let me go pick her up, I'm not going. And I'm like,
it was so dramatic. She's so dramatic.
And it was very dramatic, yeah. And it's crazy because they say that you inherit your mom's nervous system. I'm like, for fun. She just overreacts.
It reminds me of what is it called? Where all the emotions.
Oh, like sadness.
Yeah.
Hers
anxiety. Anxiety's everywhere. Controlling the whole
No, seriously, that is like her main emotion.
Yeah. And all of them are just relaxing. They're like, wow.
And like my dad's the opposite, which is why I feel like they can only handle each other because it's just like they're just
Dad
so
is very
different.
calm.
But he's very patient.
He is.
Yeah. That lady needs it.
And that's why they go out together.
Yeah. The universe has balance, and balance, like, it just keeps everything in order.
He's very like nonchalant. Okay, like.
Yeah, like it's fine. I have to tell my mom, like, relax. Like, we're okay. We're fine.
But she did so well when I brought it up to her. I was like, hey, Mom, like, you know, adult to an adult, like, you know, that wasn't fair. My time is just as important as your time. And she took that very well.
Yeah.
She just didn't respond.
She did not say, okay. She just turned the conversation another way. But, like, you know, it's okay. You gotta let it out. So, baby steps.
Did you already talk to her that way?
No.
I thought you brought it up when I got into the car for me to bring it up.
No, Joe got into the car and I was like, thank you so much, Gio, for being here and for taking this out of your schedule and blah, 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 blah. No, I did that because I felt like you deserved to hear it.
Oh, thank you.
Not for any other reason. I knew that she wasn't going to say it, so I said it.
I'm making up for her.
Yeah. I'm like,
how do you think it feels to be put in a mom role being so young? Because I feel like for a while you and I struggled with our relationship because you were put into like a motherly role for your little sister.
I mean, I feel like I didn't know anything different. It was just, I mean, that's all I've ever known is to like take care of somebody. I mean, you were born when I was 2. You know, it's like, all I really know. Like, I know, they said I was feeding her in the hospital. I don't know what I was feeding her, what I thought I was feeding her. I was a little kid, so I'm like, let me feed
I know, but I thought like, not like.
No, they said I tried to like.
Oh my gosh, Gabby.
But I mean, I don't remember, I was 2.
I thought they meant like with a bottle.
Yeah, with a bottle. This whole episode is going to be like, bleep, 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 bleep. I was a kid.
But do you think that played a role into your relationships now?
Yes. I'm traumatized.
But do you think if you healed that part, you're able to get into your feminine energy?
I don't know. I feel like I've healed quite a bit of that. I just feel like I feel this need to like take care of something.
How about you put all that taking care ofness or whatever into myself, into yourself?
Yeah, I try to.
I know. Have self-care days. It's so hard. Not so hard, but you have to just prioritize it. Yeah. And sometimes I feel like I don't. And like yesterday, I was like, oh no, like I'm gonna do a self-care day, and it's like, you know, do the things that bring me joy or make me feel good.
Yeah,
make me feel like that girl, whether that's doing your hair or whatever the case.
Alrighty, y'all, we are back. The SD card got full. We also have our water bottles here, so we're going to hydrate.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Awala stand.
I love Awala. Like, if you were trying to sponsor this podcast, hit me up, Awala.
I agree.
Just always get lip gloss all over my bottle.
I do too. It's okay though.
It's a daily struggle. It's just hard being a baddie, you know what I mean? It has its difficulties. It has its little hiccups.
What's one makeup product you could not live without?
The first thing that came into my head was like, my asshole. But I don't know why that came into my head.
It reminds me of like the asshole lip, like
the chopstick.
Where it's like white right in the middle.
Like that girl on TikTok who does all the like 2000s.
Yeah.
And that's like just her bit. It's just like the white ass like concealer lip and there's just like hair products and stuff. For me, for a very long time it would have been mascara, but now I'm fine with not wearing it. I would have to say a lip product. It'd have to be like chapstick, lip gloss, like just something that makes my lips feel hydrated. Or blush.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say either a lip gloss or just combing my eyebrows. Like a good comb or like a good.
I heard it, but I was
like clear coat on my brows. I feel like that too. But lip gloss always goes a long way.
Yeah, I feel like you need it, especially like up north. Like you are crusty, you know, because it gets cold, and you don't think about like how
Florida gets cold too.
You don't think about how chilly. Like how much you need to like hydrate your lips and also like put lotion on because you'll be ashy. Like at least down here, like you'll sweat, so then like
Oh my
it
god.
counts as lotion. You know what I mean? If I forget it, lotion, like I don't look that ashy compared to
You're
up
like
there.
sweating off the lotion.
Yeah, you kind of are, honestly, down here. Dude, we had to load up a bed, sofa bed into a trailer this morning. It was like 11-ish, sweating.
Yeah.
Sweating. We were
sweating.
sweating.
That couch was so heavy.
Yeah, thankfully a stranger helped us. He just kind of like came in and
just was like, you
Yeah.
need help.
And
He
I'm
could have
like-
easily been like, that sucks, and like walked away.
Yeah.
But he did the kindness,
we
and we
needed the
really
help.
appreciated
We
it.
needed
Yeah.
the help. And my mom was like, did we even say thank you? And I was like, we said thank you, but like my brain was so tired from trying to lift it up and use all my manpower that
I know.
I almost like didn't say thank you because I'm like, oh my gosh, my brain. But he just like looked at us and I was like, gracias. I'm pretty sure, right? I said thank you. I know I
don't
said
remember.
thank you.
I
You
was
said
so
thank you.
lost.
We both said thank you after. It was you and I that did.
I really want my septum pierced again, and I keep on like debating it.
I think you should do it.
I know. I've been highly debating it. I just want to change. What happens with us girls where we just like want change in our life?
It's men.
I
I'm
feel like
kidding.
it just goes so like where it's like, I'm tired of this. I want something else.
Well, I was thinking about it as like it's a way for you to date yourself. So like changing something about your routine, about the way that you look. Like for me, it's dating myself. It's like taking yourself out, like to get a tattoo. It's like going on a date with yourself. And it's like, what are we going to change? Or like, you know, it's just like you're trying to spice things up
Yeah.
because you just get so bored with the way that you look. Like, at least that's how I feel. I get bored. I'm just like, oh my gosh, like this is the same haircut or the same like hair color. Or like you just get like tired of
Your hair's actually longer than mine.
Yeah, my mom was like, the way that she said it was like,
it's very long.
she was like, are you gonna cut your hair?
Oh.
And so, you know, like it's the tone of voice that's just like, oh, so do you want me to cut my hair? And she's like, yeah, it's too long.
That's how long I want my hair.
I don't feel like my hair, she said it makes me look
Yeah.
shorter. I don't feel like it's too long. I feel like I want it to get a little bit longer, but I also don't know how I look like from far away. You know what I mean?
I feel like it's a good like length.
I think if anything, I want more like layers. But
Your curls look nice.
Yeah.
Your curl pattern.
thank you. I grew it myself.
I know we both.
I just hydrated my hair just now. I saw her and I was like, let me like put myself together.
So
a
she
little bit
literally
more.
did the exact same thing as
Yeah,
me.
I said.
Yeah, twin.
I said copy paste as much as I could have.
As much as I could have.
Well, I
Save
mean,
lip
like-
balm.
Well, I mean, our makeup routine's different. Like she likes some more full coverage makeup look.
Yeah.
I did put like some concealer and stuff on just now. So this is like more than what I normally do. This is
Yeah.
probably what I'll do for the wedding. I'm going to a wedding on Friday.
I'm surprised you couldn't live without your freckle, like your freckle pen.
Because they're
She's
real.
like, natural.
Honestly, I think for me, it's really, now that I'm thinking about it, no, I love a hydrated lip. There's nothing like having a hydrated lip. Because like, I can't live without it. But like, I'd rather my lips be hydrated than, you have some natural freckles.
You know what we were talking about? It just reminded me of it. We're about plastic surgery.
Okay.
How we were talking about it.
We were having this huge conversation
We
about
had
plastic
this-
surgery.
Big conversation about it at dinner. And it was pretty much like debating what was it? It was
So the conversation was that there was an influencer who got plastic surgery, and it made me a little sad because they just seemed like such a confident person, and they had a body type similar to what mine was like growing up, petite. And, they seemed so confident, have this beautiful smile, they're gorgeous, and it hurt my feelings. Or I kind of just felt like they allowed for society to get into their head to convince themselves that they don't love themselves. And so that, I feel like that's the big reason why people get plastic surgery nowadays, is because there's some insecurity, but that insecurity, you're not born with that. Like a baby is not born with an insecurity. A baby's just born with love. Like you don't,
it's like
that-
society puts that on
you
a
develop
child.
them over time. You develop insecurities. So that's where I was coming from, which is like, it's obviously easy to kind of like hear negative things and allow it to get into your head. And I feel like, and it may seem like more work to learn to love yourself, but in the end, I feel like it's more rewarding compared to like changing something, because psychologically you don't realize that you're actually doing it for them. You think it's for you, but it's really for them to get the approval of other people.
But I think other people, regardless, let's say someone who is born, quote unquote, perfection looks different for everyone. So for someone who is on beauty's, what is it called? Like standard, where like they might have everything, but to someone else, it's like, oh, you need to have more. Or people just assume they're not natural because they look, quote unquote, too perfect or perfect according to beauty standards, which beauty standards is always, it's always in a wave. It's like, we're this, we're that, we're back in the 2000s. It's like, it just goes into trends. Yeah. And I feel like everything's just a trend and you just have to, I think, loving your body. Mm-hmm. I also think if you want to change something about yourself, by all means, like if that's what you want and that's what makes you happy, like don't do something according to like a significant other, you know, or like, oh, this is what, you should never do something for a man's approval. Like never. Anything, and nothing in life do anything for someone else's approval. Yeah. You know, let alone a man, you know, because it's like, it's just,
they're going to disappoint you anyways. So.
You might never go finish.
Yeah, I mean, I know what you're saying. Like, it is addicting for a lot of people. You know, I have personally never met somebody who's only ever had one thing done. You know, it ends up being, and I think for us, we've seen people very close to us in our family. Like, I didn't realize that there was quite a bit of women in our lives who had boob jobs, who had, because I didn't think about it. I didn't think that these are cousins of mine that I look up to, and I'm like, wow, they look so great, or you know, like, well, I didn't know that runs in the family. Like, since when do we have chichis like that? And then they're like, they're fake, and I'm like, oh, I had no idea. Like, I wouldn't have known that had I not like asked or had that conversation. Yeah,
or them not being open about it, because a lot of times, I mean, there's even influencers where they're coming out now being like, oh, I did have this done, and it's like, well, for years you said that you had nothing done and it was natural, and now you want to come out because now it's a trend to tell people what you have. Yeah, but it's like, you should just want to be that type of person being open about it. Yeah, you have to be open about what you do have done, because there is little ones looking after you, you know, and that playing a part into like being an aunt and stuff like that, where you have little kids looking up to you, like our nieces and nephews. You don't want to ever teach them, and that was one of the conversations, to love yourself, but then you're changing something about yourself. Yeah. But I think also it's being open and being like, hey, this is like, you're beautiful the way you are. You know, there's some people who because sometimes it's cosmetic, but it's something that you actually need to like help for yourself, you know, like for example, like a deviated septum to help you breathe a little bit better. Like, it is more than just cosmetic.
I think there's a fine line between that, because there's people who I know who use plastic surgery as an excuse, like, oh, I got my jaw done and I grind my teeth, but like also like look at how thin my jaw looks. Like, I just want to be snatched. I think that the majority of people that I've personally met who do get plastic surgery is for cosmetic reasons, versus like the 20% of like, oh, and it's going to help out whatever other thing I have. But most people that I know who have Botox, have had lip filler, have had their boobs done, have had this, have had that, have had microblading, you know, like, and I mean, obviously to each their own. I do think that it is a fine line too, because I know that I have tattoos and I know that tattoos are permanent, but I think they're just so different compared to like surgery. Like, I'm not going under, right? Like, I think for me, that's where my brain kind of also draws the line, is like, yeah, you can get an infection from getting a tattoo. I'm not saying that, you know, you can't get injured or whatever from it, but it's more like Jill was describing it today. She saw a video and it was like, basically tattoos are like giving yourself a sticker, because like life is hard. So it's just kind of like, here's a permanent sticker. Yeah. And I think that's more of a fun way of looking at it. It's more of like a way that I artistically express myself, versus like, you know, trying to change and alter how I look permanently. Like, you know, some of these people get plastic surgery and their kids don't look anything like them, you know, because they've had so much done that like they don't even know how they look like, what they look like normally.
I mean, yes, there are people like that. I don't know. I mean, like, we're on two different opposite, like,
Yeah, I think
things where, like, I'm like, do what you want to do, love yourself, you know, like, you want something done, by all means. You don't want anything done, I love that too. You know, do what makes you happy. And for me, it's like, at the end of the day, you live one life, and you do have, like, if you don't love, like, I don't know, it's so hard because it's like, your self-love journey is a journey.
yeah.
Like, you know, it's not just I love myself today and then it's done, you know, like, no, it's love yourself every single day.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to have ups and downs. And I think a lot of people don't realize that is that it's a journey for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
it's a lifelong journey. You're going to go through a lot of different things in life. And you may look at yourself very differently according to what you go through in life, you know, and just love yourself all through it.
Yeah. Like we were talking about, you know, like how your body changes, and obviously ours have
Having
changed
kids,
since we were
yeah.
like we've experienced our own changes just going throughout life and not having kids or anything. But I
from
can't
like
imagine
high school to like now being a woman, and having a woman body, like, it's so different.
I love it. I personally feel like I am more confident now, or even whenever I was at my heaviest, I was still confident at my heaviest. Like, I know that on the cruise, y'all kind of saw me being a little insecure because my first time, like, seeing myself in a bathing suit. But I was like, dang, my giddies are juicy. And like, I was like, dang, look at my ass is fat. Like, I was like, dang, like, I felt so womanly. And I remember I would wash the dishes and I'm like, this is dangerous because I really wanted to put on more weight. I loved having the weight on me. I felt like a true woman. Like, I felt like this is what Aphrodite feels like. I just felt like juicy everywhere.
It's because you grew up being very petite.
Yeah, so I was like, dang, you know? Yeah, my ass is hitting into the table. Like, oops, it got in the way. You know, like, it felt, I never experienced that. Like, I was always like so skinny that people would tuck in their chair and I'm like, bro, I can walk straight in through this. And now I'm like, got to turn sideways to like fit in, you know, trying to squeeze into a small place. But it has been like an adjustment. Like, dude, I tried on pants that said small and I was like, I'm gonna just try them on. They didn't even go up my knees. Did I show you the picture?
No.
I had tried taking a picture because we were thrifting and she was like, just go try them on. And I'm like, but like, they'll probably fit me.
Because she's like, oh, she's still petite.
Yeah, bro.
Like, they'd be so confused that we fit in the same size.
Yeah, we do fit into the same size. Her legs, you're just longer.
I'm just
taller.
You're
taller, yeah. So then, like,
but they're always very shocked. They're like, "Oh wow!" Like, I was even shocked that I fit into Camille's shorts.
Oh yeah.
There were kids 14. I said period.
Yeah, they were like little running shorts.
I said ice skin tees.
She's like, oh my god,
stop!
The piece of dust.
I flew away. Where is she?
Yeah, I mean, your body's gonna constantly change, and I think it's just about learning to love yourself no matter what. And it's the same thing with men. Their bodies are always changing too. It's not like we're the only ones. It's every human in life. Every animal is experiencing change.
Yeah, but I feel capacity. Like women are just put on such a standard.
Oh, yeah.
Compared to men, where like women go through pregnancy and carry a baby for 9 months and going through those changes of your body. And then for a man to be like, just look at you and just being like, oh, well, you know, you have to look a certain way. And it's like,
yeah,
that's not how it is. Not every woman is the same. And that's normal. Like, you just carry, you know, like, especially just with pregnancy or just with anything in general, like, it's normal. Women's weights fluctuate often.
Oh, yeah.
Whether you're on your period, whatever phase you're in, you know, like, everything just fluctuate. And that's normal. You know?
And if you are dating somebody, regardless of whether you're a man or a woman, if you are dating somebody who picks at your body, leave that relationship.
I agree.
It is not worth being with somebody. And you think psychologically, because it's so manipulative, they'll be like, nobody will ever love you. But I love you, but I fucking hate you. And it's like, it's this mind game. Like, I dated somebody who told me that I should get a boob job, who basically said that it was the second person I dated. If you can. She's like, no. Yeah.
Dang, there was something.
Yeah. She's like, is this like a 1, 2?
No. I'm just trying to like recall. Like, I'm just in shock of hearing, because I'm sure I've heard this before. Like hearing it again.
Yeah, they were like, they're like, have you ever thought about like getting your boobs done? Like, I just wish that they were bigger. Like, I feel like you should do that. And I was like, no. Like, I had gone through so much of my life, like, being insecure about that I was finally at a place where I'm like, oh, no, I like my body. And then it was like, you should change it. And then I'm like, well, then you should fix, here's your little list. Okay, you want to be like that. You want to be like, I can use a couple inches more. You know what I'm saying? Like, really? Like, I'm not going to sit here and, like, tell you, because it's so insignificant. Physical things are so insignificant about anything. It's like, I'm not going to sit here and say that, like, pretty privilege doesn't exist or anything like that. Like, we know that is real. Yeah. We know that that's real. But what I'm saying is, like, for somebody to sit here and value you as a person, because, like, I don't know what I'm going to look like in 80 years from now, you know? Like, I don't know what I'm going to look like down the road. I don't know what God has in store for me, like, what's going to happen. But it's, like, truly, truly loving somebody for who they are is loving them, like, no matter what they look like.
I agree.
Like, I do think Love is Blind. But then we talk about, like, okay, you go on the show Love is Blind, and then you see somebody and you'll be like, do you think Love is Blind? I think Love is Blind.
I think it is. I think you just have to align in many different ways. It's what you believe in, you know, like certain rights, like just a lot of different, like your morals, like, you know, and I was explaining that to my dad, being like, you know, you have to align on a lot of different things, like, and I get a lot of it's hypothetical, you know, like, how do you want to raise your kids if you're, you know, like, how do you feel about gay rights? You know, like all these important topics, because it's like, if I don't even know where you stand at, you know, it's going to be harder, because if we were to run into anything, you know, like even Hispanic rights and just, you know, like how you feel about just certain people in general, certain cultures, like, you know, it's just, all those topics are very important, and just knowing where you stand at least to see if I still accept them. Because if we don't see eye to eye on certain things that are important to me or important to you, this may not work. If you're not open to even seeing where I'm wrong at or right at or whatever the case, because, you know, a woman's always right. You know?
Yeah, I feel like for sure, like, Love is Blind, but, like, it's also a commitment. It's a choice that you make. It's like,
it is.
At first, it's
love
very
isn't
much
never enough. Have you heard of that? Is love enough?
I'm always back and forth with that, because I do feel like love can be enough. However, I do think it requires a lot of compromise. And I think that compromise is what gets you further in life. Because sometimes if you just love somebody, can it be enough? Yes. Will you feel drained from that? Probably, because you're just sacrificing so much of yourself. And I was telling Gio earlier, like, I feel like in a lot of my relationships, I will put people before me. And, you know, my dad was like, he asked Gio and I, like, do you feel like the people you're dating now are who you're going to end up with forever? And I was like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I'm happy now. And I feel like in this lifetime, I just need to always pick me, put me first. And if this is my person right now, who I pick right now, that's fine. And if I decide to change my mind, that's fine. Because for me, it's just like, this life isn't for them anyways. This life is for me to live.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I'm going to always put me first.
Yeah. Lessons to live, to grow, and just to, if it, you know, like, to make my life, like, whether that be mistakes or whatever it is, like, it's for me to learn.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And I'm not going to put pressure on anything.
No.
Yeah.
I'm going to try. No, when you're like, pick me, I was reminding of the
pick me, choose me, love me.
And then like, next one.
We'll never film that with Xavier. We always talk about how many, like, TikToks and things we need to post or film. And then we just don't do anything. Yeah, we gotta work on that. We're trying to get on these Bora Bora bread trips. We get this shit together. Yeah, but I just want to thank you for coming onto the podcast. I know you got errands to run. I'm going line dancing later. So I appreciate you coming on.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Cut the cameras and then you're just like, ew. Get out of me. You're so like, don't touch me. Gross. So do you want to hang out later? I leave Sunday.
I know.
It's going by so fast.
You're only down for like 2 weeks.
It's still kind of a long time, no? It
It
went
is
by, it went by fast.
Longer than what you're normally down for.
It depends.
know,
There's
it's-
times where it's like a week. And then
Yeah.
I think this is like but I hadn't been here since February, so it's kind of a long time, right?
Well, I don't know. Sometimes you only come like once or twice a year.
It has never been like that. Y'all are so dramatic. It has never been like that.
That's how it feels.
That's how it feels. I have never ever done that. I come down. It used to be like every 2 months whenever I first moved. Well, we could literally sit here and rant all day, but we've literally filled up the SD card again. So, yeah, thank you for joining us. I know this won't be her last time joining the podcast. I'm sure there'll be like a trillion, billion, magillion more episodes that she joins.
Do you think you would ever have the girls on there?
Yeah, I wanted to interview them. I'm hoping maybe before I leave, I can do a little interview with them. But they came over the other day, and they were in their jerseys from the night before, and I'm like, I'm not gonna do them like that. Like these girls spent the night, and they're like,
Yeah, just for them to look all like.
yeah, because they like dressing up, you know.
Yeah.
So I'd want for them to kind of feel more put together compared to like in your PJs from the night before. So I'm like, I'm not gonna do them like this. So yeah, I am hoping that they hop on here because I love them. They're the sweetest little things in the world.
They are.
Yeah.
What do you have, Isabella?
I don't know if she'd be really interested. Isabella's our youngest niece.
She's about to be 2.
So maybe when she's older, she'll hop on here. And she'll probably be like,
Interview all the kids.
yeah. The boys would be fun.
The boys would be fun.
I don't know what they would talk about, but it would
Football.
be fun.
Probably football.
But I wouldn't be able to banter. You know what I mean? Like, they probably know more about football than I do.
That's true.
Yeah. Probably just be Minecraft.
You know, JT can do a Rubik's Cube all by himself.
That's what they told me, yeah.
Yes, he
I
did.
haven't seen him do it, yeah.
It was a triangle one, and he did it all.
That's cool.
I said that is so cool. I said, teach me.
Did
teach
you buy
me."
homework?
I was like, you're really smart. I was like, that's so cool. I'm like, not a lot of people can do that. I can't do that.
I've only ever been able to do, I think, like 3 sides.
Well, thank you for having me. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Like, comment, subscribe.